off the porch, now I'm just cool, I had to change my mood in life. When I woke up, it's just Judy. I like to move it, so please get out the way, excuse me. I like to move it. Jumped off the porch, now I'm just coming.
Hello, welcome back to Bridging the Gap, as we are back here with my wife, First Lady here, Keisha James, and Natalie. Can you say your last name so I'll say it right?
Saint-Phard.
Saint-Phard. So, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you.
I know y'all have already had a little girl chat and everything, and I'm just going to start from, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Natalie.
My name is Natalie, Saint-Phard. If you were to say it in Haitian Creole, it would be Saint-Phard. So that's how you pronounce it in Haitian Creole. That is my husband's last name, so I'm married. I'm a wife. Mm-hmm. I'm the mother of 4 beautiful little queens, and we kind of discussed that. Mm-hmm. So we're inundated with women all around us in our house.
Your husband is in trouble.
Man, pray for him. Y'all pray for him. I'm a community member. Mm-hmm. I'm an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And I love people out loud.
I love that, out loud. That's good. So, and I noticed you mean that you are a woman of faith, right?
Yes.
You're in church and everything. Good. Now, what do you do within the community?
It's a lot. And so we kind of talked, in our girl chat about discography. One of the biggest things that I feel is that impact is felt. It's not really told, right? You could tell somebody about all that you do and they're disconnected from it. It does it really matter, as opposed to the person that has felt and been a witness to your presence and what you have done for them.
Right.
I work with families and children on the day-to-day. In my official work, I'm the chair of the Human Rights Committee of the City of Salisbury, the Advisory Committee. Over the summer, I became the treasurer of the Democratic Central Committee.
Okay, busy.
I'm a member of the NAACP. And like I said, I love people out loud. So anything I find to do, really, I don't think it robbery. I don't think it too high of me to kind of help.
And I like how you just mix a little verse in there, thinking not robbery. And I asked you, the reason why I asked you about your woman of faith is because we did talk a little bit before we got on camera. And I agree with you. You said a lot of churches are missing something. Do you mind sharing that with us, what they're missing?
A lot of churches are missing basically the point. It's supposed to be what I consider it to be. It's a hospital, right? You come as you are. That's basically how we tell people to come. We don't want you to prep, do anything. Come as you are. We're all works in progress anyway. However, when you get into a congregation, when you become part of a church, the resourcing that is there, because I don't believe that somebody who is a concrete member of a church, who is tithing, who is investing their time, should be more dependent on a social service organization than their own church family, than their own church infrastructure.
Right.
And so for me, I've heard Bishop Anthony speak about that. We were at a night watch visual. We did 12 hours of prayer at my church. And what he talked about is this next year coming in is that he would lock the corners down, is what he said. That is ministry, out loud, in person, tangible. Stand on the corner and proclaim and pray for every house, every car passing by, every cat, stray cat. Walking by.
My husband is good with that.
I pray for my cats.
All 10.
And so I do believe that the church is us, and we've gotten away from that. It's good to be under sound leadership. Nothing can replace that. No. Because your pastor, your shepherd, is somebody of wisdom, somebody that has studied to show themselves approved. And so, if I'm not fully in the know of something, I should be able to go to my pastor and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or, I'm struggling with this. Pray for me. Help me. However, I don't believe also that all of the spiritual growth should depend on your pastor.
No.
If you're a spiritual baby, that's a personal problem. That's something that you have to kind of work through and work for. I was always told that salvation is personal. It's something that it's between you and God.
Relationship.
What I do, and we kind of talked about that, the good works that I do is between me and God. The bad works I do as well, the guilt, all of that is also between me and God.
Yep.
And so, yes, I know that it says that your shepherd, your pastor will be called into account for your soul. But I'm the soul that's living every day.
Wow.
My pastor's not with me.
Right, exactly.
So I got to put the work in.
Right. God sees everything you're doing.
I like that. Okay. So what do you bring to the community as value?
Well, one of the biggest
Other
things,
than all that you just said.
Right.
I'm not from here, and sometimes people could look at that as a negative. For me, I look at it as a positive because I've been other places. I see what's possible, what's been done before, and I also compare and contrast and see where the gaps are.
Sure.
As an entrepreneur, I'm always looking to problem solve, and that looks differently. One of the things that we didn't talk about in our girl chat was that I really believe in philanthropy. Not necessarily, I do believe in nonprofits, I'm not going to say that, but I believe that an entrepreneur has a social, especially one of faith, a Christian entrepreneur has a social responsibility.
Yes.
I've seen it done. We have a young lady who is called India Thomas. She has Thomas Catering.
Okay.
I've seen her love people out loud. And what she does is she feeds people. She is a caterer. She's a restaurateur. She recently fed people for free for the holidays from her own pockets.
Wow.
And so that is what I mean about loving people out loud. As an entrepreneur, I'm problem solving. I'm dealing with people day to day with their problems. But also from my overflow, from my blessings, I should be able to give back. And I did something like that during COVID. They say no good deed goes unpunished, right?
Right.
So I got the flack for that, but it didn't stop me. It doesn't stop me. Right now, I have to give up my time, so I give it. But the idea is that in the future, once I become, successful enough, that I will be giving out of my pocket. I'll be giving from my overflow.
In our girl chat, I mentioned how, I got a little something and had stuff in order, and when I had it, I did. Like the praise in the parks that I did them all on my own. And now I have to ask, but I love the fact that I had that opportunity to do it when I did.
Absolutely.
Now, when we're talking about a community, I've noticed that what you just said, I mean, especially when you're saying you're faith-based and you believe that the church needs to be more than just Sunday morning.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, of course, those that are hearing who Natalie is, they know that you also applied for the vacancy on the city council. Now, as sitting here thinking and as I'm talking to you, I remember as we rewind maybe 2 or 3 years back when Franklin Graham came into town.
Right.
I first want to thank everyone who came here tonight. I appreciate you taking the time out of your evening, and I just want to let you know that here at the council, we've absolutely heard you, and I'm looking forward to having some further discussions with the rest of my council members. I want to second what Councilwoman Gregory mentioned. I also was very concerned with some of the things we learned over the weekend in regards to that concert that's going on. Clearly, there was no ill intention on behalf of the city, but it's very clear that we need to work on some internal processes to make sure that there is a vetting process and a screening process so events like this don't happen ever again. I mean, we're less than 10 weeks away from our Pride event, and this to me just doesn't make our LGBTQ community feel like they are actually a part of Salisbury. I mean, that event's going to happen less than a block away from our Pride Rainbow Walk.
The majority of the city council did not want him there.
Did not approve.
They wanted more to worry. They were more concerned.
They didn't want him to come down because it was close to their Pride Walk.
So it makes me wonder. I mean, we're going to talk about the fact that they disqualified you way when they shouldn't have.
So if I'm sorry, if I can ask for more context here, Mr. Frank was a man of faith.
Franklin Graham. You ever heard of
Billy Graham?
Billy Graham.
Oh yes,
His son,
Okay.
and along with they came down here with. Newsboys.
Yes.
And it was
My
a free.
God's
It was
not dead. He surely.
It was a free concert right downtown on the mall down there. 3,500, 3,800, something like that. There was a lot of people.
It was
out
a
there.
lot.
And Mrs. Gregory, which is on the council, along with Mrs. Alton, who was on the
Yes.
council, and I'm not quite sure where Mrs. Blake lined up on that, but they were they were upset with, at that time, interim Mayor Heath for allowing this to happen so close to the Prize sidewalk. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 120% sure that Council Lady Jackson had no problem with her, knowing she's a woman
pretty
of faith.
sure.
Absolutely.
So my
Absolutely.
question is could that have played a role in why they disqualified and got her out of the way? Because that would mean 2 Christians on there at least.
There is more to that.
Let us talk about that.
Right.
What happened with the council situation?
So I'm going to talk about what it means to love people out loud.
Okay.
As a woman of faith, I actually have a family member who is transgender. We, as being Haitian American, we are Catholic. My family, I was born and raised into a
Okay.
Catholic family. That is a no. We know Catholics are a very organized religion. They have bylaws, rules, and regulations, and
Structure.
things like that.
Right.
Structure. And so when that happened, or when he came out, she came out, it broke our family. It broke our family. I have a cousin who said that she would never talk to him again, and actually
Wow.
wished him dead.
Not good.
It shocked
Now,
me
that's
because
not the love. Like, you still love the person. You may not
Absolutely.
accept what they've done. But guess what?
Or agree
you
with their
can be
lifestyle.
transgender and transform.
And so for me, obviously it shocked me. I'm a heterosexual woman with 4 children. I love a man. That's not my life. However, this is also my family member, blood of my blood.
I
Right.
understand.
So what we had was as people say, a come to Jesus movement, right?
Okay.
We talked about, okay, cousin, you are choosing this lifestyle. Are you aware of the implications and how people will view you now? You're coming from this family. This is your background. You're Haitian. So in Haiti, as a social norm, it's not accepted.
No.
Then we're
Okay.
going into
I didn't know
organized
that.
religion as a Catholic
Right.
young man,
This is
woman,
true,
Catholic
right,
young man.
right.
It's definitely not accepted.
Right.
Now you have a family who's, even though we are Americanized, telling you that it's not accepted. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to love you through it anyway, right? You are my cousin before, now, and after the fact. So even though I don't agree with you, you know that I'm a woman, I'm married to a man, I have 4 girls. I still love you. And so one of the things I think that Christians miss is that our ministry is to be lived, not to be really taught. Because what Jesus did, he did teach. There was a time to teach, but there was a time to live. And he lived by example. So I'm going to love you. I'm also part of the healthcare industry. I've had patients who have had HIV, all types of different
Right.
ailments.
Right.
I cannot deny them service or care
No.
based
No.
off of the
No.
previous
No.
choices that they've made. I have to be right there, present, and administer care.
Absolutely.
And so, if we take that, I have a sister of mine who tells me that my job is my ministry. And, you know, we tussle, we go back and forth about that ideology because I'm like, you don't know the stuff I got to deal with. But she's like, that's what it is. It is the push and pull of saying that this is what I believe, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway.
Indeed.
I don't agree with you, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to love you anyway. I'm going to care for you anyway. And for me, it's so funny that we talk about this. As the chair of HRAC, which is the Human Rights Advisory Committee, the mayor did talk to us about the crosswalk. He actually was invited by committee members to come and talk about this. And I asked, I said, you know, I'm used to the Christian talking point that kind of contradicts the LGBTQ movement. You know, I'm not even hearing that from you. Because that's what I'm used to. But I always come back and say, but Jesus, but God doesn't call us to be judge, jury, and the executioner.
Right.
He gave us one job to do: love your neighbor, love your neighbor,
Yes.
serve your neighbor.
Sure.
That's it.
Serve.
That's all. And so now, as I said, if I believe that my salvation is personal, it's between me and God,
Yours-
that person's has to give an account for their choices
Indeed.
between them and God. So my job is to continue to follow the course, help. And what I found in the most profound ways is that when you love somebody out loud, as I said, and you just are the embodiment of God, people tend to take to that better than a teaching, fire and brimstone.
Right.
It has its role, but in today's society and how we're dealing with people with complex issues, is our work more effective when we are exemplified in our teaching? We live by the Bible. My sister always also says, "You're the Bible. You're sometimes you're the only Bible that people will get a chance to read."
Yes, that's what I've taught.
And so, I do believe that our book, the Bible, is a spiritual book, but it's also a manual on how to
Yes,
live.
it is.
And
Definitely. Biblical instructions for daily life.
So I really, even though, like I said, as the chair of the Human Rights Committee, LGBT issues are forefront. We have members on our committee that are LGBTQ.
Right.
I will never turn them away, because the thing is, I don't live
still
your
a soul.
choice. You're still a soul. You're still a person.
Still a person.
And you still have value.
And you still have time to change.
Yeah, right.
But they're not going to want to if you keep drilling them and showing hate. Got to show that love.
I love that. I love that.
Gotta show that love.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to, now, their reasoning for disqualifying you, I'm still trying to, because I'm listening to all this stuff, and
Yes.
you've done talking with her. Can you say anything bad about her?
No, the only thing I see is what is visible.
What, she likes to love them? I'm not love on
The
purpose,
only
love out
thing-
loud.
Love out loud.
On
The only
purpose.
thing I'm going to say is I see color. I see she's out here to make change in the world. I see she's not out here for vainglory. I see that she's out here to actually do a work for our community, and that's what we need. We don't need someone to just sit behind a desk and say, I need this, this, and this done. No. And then they get the glory. No, we have someone who's out here working. Just like I was all for Jermichael. Again, I didn't know you. If I had known you, I would have been stuck. I would have been, Lord help me. But but that's what I see. I see you're different, and I see you have a voice of your own.
So what did they did not like about you?
That still remains to be answered.
You were disqualified without reason?
No. So basically, it comes down to residency proof. So what happened is they asked for certain documents to prove where you say you live.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that came on the cusp of a very crazy situation about Deshaun's residency and different
Right.
things. So I do believe.
I understand that.
Yes.
But again, are you a resident of the district that you were?
am.
Okay.
So-
What is the problem?
So what happens is I have a lease. My landlord
you.
is phenomenal. My landlord is phenomenal. He's an older gentleman.
I take it ain't Mr. Gilkerson.
Wow.
And
My
so
husband
what
does
happened
not
is
hold back.
we've been living in the house since 2023. We actually had a house fire over on South Division where our life was upended.
Wow.
I had to restructure things. We were commuting from Delaware to Salisbury every day, and I was also still working here. My kids were still attending school here. Finally, we found placement or housing in District 2 and met with my landlord. He's a private landlord. It's a house. And so he's very easygoing. Even to the point where I'm late, we talk, we communicate. He's a
private
older gentleman.
landlord, right?
Yep, he's an older gentleman. If you're going to be late, tell me you're going to be late.
Right.
Let me figure out that you're going to be late. Tell me. And so we've been operating like this since 2023. What happens is I had a lease from one term to the next. So 2023 to 2024.
Right.
Then month to month thereafter.
Right.
But it's stipulated in the terms. So time goes on, it's month to month. I didn't need the lease again until we go for
This.
Yeah.
no, not for this.
Oh.
We needed the lease for Shore Up. So we needed to get assistance for electric. So I asked him, I said, hey, I noticed we didn't even redo our lease. Is there could you just send me a lease? So that was April of 2025, this year to 2026. They usually are 1-year terms at a time, then month to month thereafter.
So you were living there is because
But
you had
that's
to get
any other rental also, so that's nothing different.
So here's where the issue is, or that they're saying. They're saying that, okay, you have to prove a year prior to you filing for your candidacy that you live where you say you live. Okay, cool. This current lease, the second one, so I gave them both. I gave them the one from 23 to 24, the one from 25 to 26, and also gave payment history for that time leading up to a year. So it's November
So you get more
24th.
than enough information.
Right, and they kept wanting more and more and more.
I like to move it. Jumped off the porch, now I'm just cold. I had to change my mood in life when I woke up.
You know, I'm still not sure as to why. I have been told, given different reasonings, people pointing fingers at each other. It's the clerk's office. No, it's another council member. No, it's this person. No, it's the Secretary of Housing. So officially, I got word from, after I spoke to the city attorney, because it had to go to her so she could arbitrarily look and see, okay, so what's the problem? Where's the breakdown at? Because she was confused. After explaining to her, I said, you're a legal person, right? Terms clearly stipulated from this time to this time, month to month thereafter. There's no proof that I've moved or anything. You have payment history that says I've been paying consistently to the same person who owns the housing. Then another lease for the same property, same amount, saying I continue to live at this property.
And as an attorney, they couldn't figure it out.
She couldn't tell me, no, not her. She couldn't tell me, yeah, girl, right? She couldn't say that because I understand that, you know, she doesn't answer to me, she answers to her employer. But she said, yeah, I understand that. I think that's kind of cut and dry. Then I had to wait for her to get back to me because apparently there was some conversation with the Board of Elections, who were the people responsible for reviewing said documentation. Now, this is also the same day of interviews.
Ironically.
Yeah.
Uniquely.
And so I get a word back from her that unfortunately the Board of Election continues to uphold their decision to not take your word for it, not take your documents for it.
I wonder if the Board of Election is aware of this. That's all I want to know. Because I know what the problem is. I see your color and I see your voice. I hear your voice. You're very active when, like I said before, they all just want to sit behind the desk and call the shots.
And maybe I'm not the person because I don't believe in going with the flow.
No, you're not a puppet.
Maybe this was what needed to get your fire started to go forward. You know, it's unique that you bring up the fact of you're not sure exactly who has something to do with this, because I remember myself maybe about a little bit more than a year, actually about a year ago, I had a water bill that I needed to go up to the city. They cut my water off.
Oh, yeah.
And they shouldn't have. So I
it
went
was
up
already
there.
paid.
Now the unique thing was they
Don't
were
let
like,
me tell you.
They were like let me. My wife gets excited. So here I was. I'm standing here with this, and they were like, "Well, sir, yeah, it's paid, but since somebody in the office made a mistake, we can't turn it back on to Monday." I said, "No," and I'll be honest with you, I didn't get too out of character, but I did get out of character. I said, "Excuse me," I said, "Obviously, you don't know I know a lot of people."
Let me go upstairs.
I said, as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna go visit with my friend, the county executive. I'm gonna go visit with my friend, the mayor. All of a sudden, around the corner appeared Angela Blake. Like this, and she then got back behind there. A few seconds later, the lady walks back to the back counter, picks up the phone, comes back, and says, "Sir, no problem, we'll turn it on." So I'm wondering, phone calls, people.
Absolutely.
Wow, I didn't think about that. Because
when you guys
phone calls, people, and they know who I was.
Melissa, that's her name, right?
Who's that?
I forget her name, Melissa Holland,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
She got that phone call right in the hallway. I bet you didn't know about that, did you?
No.
Maybe we need to get a PIA. Maybe there's a way of getting a PIA on that phone call from that day.
They told her to go back because she was leaving, and she went back. And if you speak to Jermichael, he didn't know about the decision until they announced it.
Yeah, when did you find out about the decision?
I found out from him actually because I saw that he wasn't chosen, and then the fallout thereafter. So one of the things that people also don't know about me is that I'm trained as a paralegal. I worked with an immigration attorney for possibly 2.5, 3 years.
You are part Haitian, correct?
Absolutely.
So in your community, I'm sorry to cut you off. I want you to remember that thought. Your community, because we live in District 2, your community goes through Church Street, which has been cleaned up by the Haitian community.
Wow.
What a great representation of that area would have been. Now again, don't take me wrong. Jermichael is great with the community.
Yes.
I see both of you
And
have some
again,
kind of tie
we
in
didn't
that
know
community.
you. We didn't know you.
But what I'm
now
saying
like,
is you both have
For such a time as this.
Yes. So you both have a connection to the
Absolutely.
community.
And we've worked.
What's your
for that.
connection?
We've worked for that community, actually,
Wow.
and I'm going to say it. I had talked about a story time on my Facebook about being disqualified or being excluded. During COVID, Jermichael and I worked to put together a food distribution for the Haitian community that was working through the chicken plants and started to be sick and started to see certain things. Because I was an essential worker at the time, hand sanitizer wasn't readily being given out. They were taken off the store shelves. And so I used my job, my position, to go up to the Delaware Emergency Management Office, use my funds to buy gloves and that hand sanitizer, break it down, and also give it out with the food distribution. He helped me orchestrate the whole thing. It was him, my husband, and him.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, just us three, working through it, getting people involved. And so thereafter, I was told...
Exactly.
Because
you're actually going to look out for your community.
My community is the Black community. I'm Black. And so we kind of talked about that as well. There's a difference where people was like, oh, no, she's Haitian. No. I'm Black. And I believe that, and I know that, and I know who I am. And it was Black people who helped and came together for that moment.
I know,
so
that's right.
when people try to pit me against him, like, oh, we were both running for the same thing, and it's your fault because if you didn't get in there, then he would have won.
This wasn't an election, so that wasn't the case. Okay,
I'm just going to say it was rigged from the jump. And I said that in the camera. I'm not going to sugarcoat, okay?
What I think that
in short, like I said, the more and more I learn, the more I just got to shake my head.
You've been ignited. Okay, what I think the system as it stands need to be worried about right now are people that have been lit like yourself, my wife, Jermichael, who already was lit. You just got a barn fire going on there.
Wow.
Because now you have people, you got people that's in the community and saying enough is enough.
That's right.
Enough is enough. Now, I mean, and I definitely want you to have you back on the show, but it seems like you are like knees deep into the community. You're knee deep into making a change and can make a change.
And I also believe in kind of what we talked about earlier, reaching across the aisle, because I understand that solutions don't only come from one person all the time, right? So you need to be able to sit with people who might ideologically disagree with you, but have a common purpose to a goal. So for instance, we talked about Colin. I know that we come from different walks of life and we ideologically disagree on things. However, do I believe that he has a purpose? We talked about debating and having a real space where people and ideas can be thought out and laid out for people to learn. Really, honestly, it's a learning experience. And so, I'm very interested to continue doing the work. And what it actually showed me and has been showing me that is the seat, as you said, might be too big for me. I might be too big for the seat. I'm sorry. I might be too big for the seat. Because there comes a hindrance and there comes a limitation when you are part of the legislative. There's certain things that you can't move and you can't really be seen with certain people, because if you're seen with that person, then all of a sudden...
Here's what I'm going to say about that. The word that came to me a couple of days ago, and I did a live on Facebook about it, is yoke. Be careful who you align yourself with. It doesn't matter if it's in marriage. Of course, you worry about it in marriage, but I'm talking about in all things. Your business ventures, your relationships, all of these come into a play when you're yoking. So just be careful who you align yourself with, and when you align yourself with the right people, right things will come into
magic will happen.
Now I'm going to say this, because we're going to say that seat wasn't, it was like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Maybe that wasn't your seat.
Maybe it wasn't.
However, are you disqualifying run for county? council? Because you're in a district right now. Right now, nobody's filed, but I'm hearing that Shaney, because I think you're in District 1, which is the minority district. Shaney Shields may be going to, she would be the incumbent. I don't know. She's telling me she may run. Would you be interested in that? Especially when you and I were talking about with 287G out there and so many things that you could help with, and being able to work across the aisle. I promise you. I mean, you and I talked, and we're going to set this up, and one day you can sit down with the county executive, because I do believe working across the aisle is what's needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, actually, she's a big advocate
And
for
I
that,
think
and
she
she
would
gets a lot of
be a
criticism
great
for it.
fit as a Haitian in this community. I really
Well,
think
she's
would be
Haitian.
a
They
great-
saying she was
and
born
black
here.
woman.
I was born here. I was born and raised in New Jersey to Haitian parents, so first generation. Then my
As long as you're
kids-
not a Jets fan, we're all right.
but then my kids as well. And so honestly, with this whole process as well, I'm looking and thinking about them as well.
Wow.
My daughter, we talked about that in Girl Chat, is with me with a lot of the engagements that I do, and I'm teaching her real time what this looks like, what the world is like. We talked about being a black woman. So what I said to her is being black has consequences. Being a woman has consequences.
Yes.
Being black woman and then disproportionately economically disadvantaged has consequences.
Yeah.
Glad you said that combination.
So being a black woman who's financially disenfranchised, there's consequences, and so
Yeah.
you have to think, and you have to be 3 times as good.
Yes.
And so we talk about that, and I have other little princesses too that I'm trying to train up, but they're kids right now, and sometimes I get some flack from my husband who says, you going too much on them. They're kids. Let them be kids. But I've experienced so much, and it just formulates my opinion of this world. I also talk to my dad. My dad is someone who I really, really talk to as a black man who was a physician who comes from Haiti.
Okay.
Very
Wow.
strong-minded. We talk about the realities of it all. I have a mentor. I believe in mentorship. right?
Yes.
Because the thing is, I want to surpass the learning curve. Somebody who's been there, who's done that, and can tell me, hey, watch out for this pitfall. Don't do that. Go here. Go there. I think that's invaluable.
And ask you what you learned from it.
Right, and share that experience. So I have a mentor, Dr. Fouché, and I have Dr. Laguerre, who are also of Haitian descent, and we talk about and we strategize and we talk about different
Wow.
things,
Wow.
so that I'm not saying that there's not another opportunity out there for me. I'm just saying right now I'm in conservation mode, right? Because I gave out so much, or I'm giving so much continuously, even in my hurt and in my disappointment, I have to realign some things.
Yes.
I have to structure things for me and my family. The disappointment and the betrayal that I experienced, my kids, they might not understand it, but I'm dealing with it and still trying to wrap my head around it. And so going in and saying, oh, I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z right now is not
Yeah.
something I can really answer.
Respectful.
And
not
I
something I
get
can really
that
answer.
because you're still processing.
I'm still processing. I'm still looking for answers. The most recent update is that I did put in a Maryland Public Information Act request, which is an
Which
immigration
I
called
was
the
just talking about
FOIA.
PIA. Yep.
Right, and we're waiting for that to come through. And
Okay.
then, but I've also been told that the Board of Elections wants to meet with me.
Okay.
I sent in a formal written process. So I sent in my letter of intent. I sent in my resume, written. I want a written response. I haven't gotten that.
Respectfully.
But they want to meet with me in person and kind of mansplain why. We'll see how it goes. But
Wow.
yeah, that's where we are.
And
Well-
you also have to, I can't believe I'm saying this, be okay with them not addressing it. Because again, God has the final say.
Absolutely.
So it really doesn't matter. It happened. And what do we do to move forward?
Absolutely.
I think, thank you. I think what you were destined to do has already started. I do believe that this is not the first time they've heard of Natalie.
Right.
They say Saint-Phard.
Saint-Phard.
Oh,
Or
you want to
Saint-Phard.
get Frenchy?
Saint-Phard.
Okay, Saint-Phard, but
Saint-Phard.
for our Anglo-Saxon folk, Saint-Phard. With the
We're
heartbeat.
gonna add it.
But they haven't heard the last of you. And here on Bridging the Gap, we really want you to come back on our show. And
Girl chat for sure.
Girl chat.
for sure.
I need to watch that episode. But not only that, I'm really hoping that we can talk and maybe have you as a part of us and help us to learn more.
Yeah.
Because you are definitely an information tank, such as Joe
And
Michael.
you're something to help us bridge that
Right
gap.
now, I will tell you what's next for me is empowering myself in my entrepreneurial walk.
Nice.
And also those around me, those who have that entrepreneurial inkling, creating spaces for that, having those conversations and preparing ourselves. So there's what I call economic preparedness. So, that's the grant writing, that's the funding sources, that's
Nice.
the LLC creation, that's the getting our business structures set up. I've spoken to my children and I've told them flat out, you're not going to have a first job. You'll have a first business.
Right.
So we talked.
I like that.
We